Hello, this is a short presentation on how to work out questions relating to percentages. It's important for you to know that the word per, right, per, P-E-R, means out of, then cent means 100. So if you hear percent, per cent, it means out of 100, or written like this, over 100. So therefore, if you look at this example 1 that says 20% of 70, this 20% itself simply means 20 out of 100. And it's important that you remember this. 20 out of 100, 20%. This of means multiply, then you have 70. To make this easier, right, I will rewrite it like this, that you have 20 over 100 times 70 over 1. Now, what do you do here? These are big numbers. You want to reduce them to small numbers as much as you can. Now, how do you do that? You have 20 here, you have 100 here, you have 70 here. I want to find a number that will divide the top number and also the bottom number. Because I have 0 and 0 here, I say 10 goes in 20. How many 10 do I have in 20? That is 2. How many 10 in 100? That is 10. Right? You can as well look at it this way, that you have 0 at the top, 0 at the bottom. So you say 0 here, divide this 0 here. It's the same way of saying how many 10 in 20? 2. How many 10 in 100? 10. Right? We still have another 0 here, which is at the top and 1 at the bottom. So I can say how many 10 in 70? 7 times. How many 10 in 10? 1. So I now have 2 times 7, which is 14, over 1 times 1, which is 1. And 14 divided by 1 is the same thing as 14. So that means my answer here for this first one is simply 14. 20% of 70 equals 14. That's very straightforward. Okay. Now we move on to example 2. 25% of 80. As I mentioned earlier, what you want to do, write this out in a way that makes it easier for you to remember. Remember, we said that 25% or anything percent simply means 25 out of 100. The of here means multiply by, you have your 80, right? To make it easier for you to work out, say divided by 1. Now, the skills I want you to remember here, or to be able to use, is divide the top numbers by the bottom numbers, or find a common divisor or a common denominator, a common factor. We have 0 here, we have 0 here. So we can say 10 goes in 80, 8 times, 10 goes in 100, 10. We can also look at it this way, that you have 25 here, which goes in 100 4 times. So you can use any of these methods, any one that works best for you that you can easily remember. So I'm going to say 25 goes in 25, 1 time. 25 goes in 100, 4. Now, remember to write your number by the sides of the number you are dividing, right? So I have 80 This gives me 80 over 4. What do we do next? What can divide 80 and 4? I know that 4 goes in 4 one time, 4 goes in 8 2 times. So we are left with 20 over 1. And 20 divided by 1 is 20. So simply, 25% of 80 is simply 20. Okay. Example 3, which is to demonstrate different ways of working percentage questions. You are to find 28% of 70. The first thing you want to do is write out the way you are going to work it out. You have 28 over 100, which is 28%, times 70 over 1. Okay? Now, what can we do? 28 does not go in 100. There is a remainder. However, we have 70 here and 100 here. You can say 10 goes in 70 7 times. 10 goes in 100 10 times. Now, what else do we have that can divide? 2 goes here 14 times, 2 goes there 5 times. But I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to first multiply 28 by 7, which will have 28 7. 7 times 8, that is 56. Write your 6, carry the 5 here. 7 times 2, that's 14. 14 plus 5, that is 19. So this gives me 196 divided by 10. It's easy for me to do this by saying this is the same thing by saying this is 19.6. This is about dividing whole numbers or decimal numbers with numbers ending with 10. If you don't know how to do that, it's something you need to develop. It's going to help you a lot. So